Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies. I'm Sorrel, and today we're looking at a classic movie, which is Prom Night, which came out in 1980. So yeah, this movie it's alright. I ain't gonna lie, this movie shows his age and everything and shit, but I really fuck with it. It's a basic slasher movie and stuff. It is kinda like a Carrie type of thing. So basically, all these people go to the prom and shit and stuff like that. Then there's a killer ready to come out to seek revenge for his sister that got killed when they were, kids and stuff like that. So yeah, basically that's all this movie is about and shit. And I like the 80s setting and shit. So yeah, that's pretty damn good and stuff. And yeah though, but how many people died as their murderous killer running around killing people after their sister getting killed? Well, there's only one way to find out. Well, let's get to the kills. The movie begins with these kids and shit playing hide and seek and stuff like that. So yeah, anyway, they all go run out and stuff. And then, she's in and shit. Well, no, she's hiding and stuff like that. So yeah, anyway, these kids come in and shit. So I guess they could play with them and stuff. And I guess so, yeah. Anyway, we get this good ass title card and shit and stuff like that. So yeah, and this movie is just alright to me. But they all run out and shit to go find the hider and stuff like that. So yeah, anyway, the game begins and shit and stuff like that. So yeah, anyway, they find this other girl and shit. And just start pushing her around this shit for no fucking reason. Then they start running and stuff to, come out there and stuff like that. So yeah, and when she runs in this hallway and stuff where these kids just keep on saying kill. And eventually that happens when she falls out this window and stuff. It falls to her death and shit, stuff like that. We got the bro right here calling the police and shit, so you can know so they go check it out and shit. Then we get a dead ass good time jump for 6 years from that and shit and all that type of stuff. So yeah, where all these fucking people are at her funeral and shit. Well, not the funeral, but checking out her gravestone and stuff. Then these people put down a picture of her to remember her by and shit and all that type. We got to Kim and Alex and shit, so trying to figure out some dates to this new prom they got and shit and all that type of shit. So yeah, and Kim is played by Jamie Lee Curtis and shit. And if you didn't know her and shit, we actually last seen her on the Kill Count and shit, stabbing double M with co-hangers and shit. We cut to her just chilling on the porch and stuff. Then we cut to bro and shit, calling somebody so he can scratch some witnesses off the list. And I'm guessing this little girl right here is her right now and shit and all that type of stuff. She gets scared by bro and shit and all that type of stuff. So yeah, anyway, Kelly is telling Drew about that weird ass phone call she got, and bro responds in the most weirdest way fucking possible.
John, didn't he? Maybe I should try that.
I'm serious.
We cut to bro right here, taking more names off the fucking witness list and shit and all that type of stuff. Then we cut to, some flashback scenes I guess bro is having right now and shit, where this police and shit pull up to this very fucked up crime scene and shit, where bro explodes in his car and shit and all that type of shit. So yeah, anyway, bro, turns out that he survived and stuff like that. So yeah, anyway, now he's just chilling in there. We got to her heading out the door and shit for some school stuff and shit like that. So yeah, anyway, we finally get to fucking high school and shit or whatever and shit like that. So yeah, anyway, it seems like everything's going good and shit until the police pull up there and shit, and then we see this body and shit and all that type of stuff. And you wanna know what happened to bro? Later on we know what happened and shit. He got stabbed by this goddamn glass shard and shit, which I'm guessing is shit like that. So yeah, then we got to Kim doing these dance moves and shit for the prom dance tonight and shit like that. So yeah, anyway, the lights turn on and shit. Why, this girl fucking turned them on and shit, and basically she's jealous about who she's going with to the prom and shit. So yeah, this shit is really not important and shit, but I decided to include it any fucking way. So yeah, anyway, at lunch or whatever and shit, they all talk about the prom dance tonight and shit and all that type of stuff. Then she gets harassed by this guy in a fucking shiesty mask and shit and all that type of stuff. Then bro comes over there to help her and shit, and they get into a fight and shit and all that type of stuff. So yeah, anyway, now they're at practice and shit, just preparing for tonight's dance and shit like that. So yeah, anyway, they step out and shit to, rehearse for the shit and all that type of stuff. Then we got to her later on getting ready and stuff for this shit and all that type of stuff. So yeah, and I think her parents leaving shit to go wherever the fuck they're gonna go and shit. If these are not her parents, forget. And the movie tries to make it seem like that the killer is watching them leave and shit, but it's just bro coming in to see what the hell she's looking like for this prom dance tonight and shit and all that type of stuff. Now we're there and shit, where these people, dance to old ass 80s 80s music and shit and all that type of shit. So yeah, and I guess Kim and Bro is just now coming there and shit and all that type of shit, and they immediately start dancing and shit, and this long ass dance scene and shit, which is pretty damn iconic for this movie and shit. You know, these old ass dance moves and shit, you know, that was pretty good for the time and shit. They dance so damn much to where the whole fucking place starts dancing with. We got to these people being alone in the school and shit, just to be alone for a few seconds and stuff like that. Then Bro gets up and leaves to go somewhere and stuff and shit, and he said he'll be right back and shit and all that type of stuff. So yeah, anyway, she just sits there and shit, just, you know, looking around and shit. And then Bro, she dies and shit and all that type of stuff for this slow ass motherfucking slow motion scene and shit of her getting stabbed. I don't know, man, but yeah. Anyway, we got back to the party and shit where everything seems like it's going good and shit and all that type of stuff. So yeah, anyway, we got to this van and shit, just chilling outside the parking lot and shit where Bro and, you know, her is laid down in it and shit. And Bro goes outside and shit while the killer is watching him and shit like that. So yeah, anyway, I don't know how the fuck they never noticed Bro or nothing, but I guess they're just that fucking stupid and shit. And then Bro pulls out his fucking staff, some tree and shit hidden in his goddamn book. Then the killer opened the door and shit, so, you know, starts stabbing her a bunch in her chest and shit while Bro just sits there and watches and shit like that. Then he pulls Bro off the fucking car and shit to, you know, try and get away from the killer and shit. Then Bro crashes and stuff, exploding the goddamn van and also killing himself. I guess because of her chilling in the fucking bathroom and shit, but when Bro turns the light off and shit, she just fucking stands there, not moving or think of nothing else to do right now and shit. So yeah, when she finally runs into Bro and shit, she starts running from, you know, to get away from Bro and shit. Then she runs down the hallway and shit, if that's what you want to call that shit, and all that type of stuff. So yeah, anyway, she just keeps on running from Bro and shit and all that type of stuff, you know, for this chase scene to just go on longer and shit and all that type of stuff. Then she decides to hid in the fucking parking lot and shit and all that type of stuff. Then Bro, you know, she eventually finds her and shit after she screams from a dead body and shit and kills her. Then we fade to black and stuff and all that type of shit. So yeah, and we can add Bro to the count and shit when Bro gets his head chopped off by that damn axe and shit. Then it rolls out onto the fucking stage and shit, and then everyone starts freaking out and shit, but also stands there for a second too. Anyway, Kim and Bro runs into the damn killer and shit, you know, backing up away from Bro and shit like that. And then, you know, they fucking fight Bro off and shit and all that type of stuff. So yeah, anyway, you know, guess after that, she notices who the fuck is under this mask doing all this goddamn killing and shit. Then Bro comes out and stuff, you know, having all these flashback scenes and shit, where, you know, the old kids shit and all that type of stuff that happened earlier in this movie. And we see these death once again and shit. Then, you know, I don't know, man, it's a bunch of other shit happening and shit where I just can't explain this shit anymore, and I'm just ready for this shit to be done for. Then we get some more flashbacks and shit and all that type of stuff. So yeah, anyway, Bro just keeps on having these flashbacks and shit and all that type of shit. So yeah, and he dies out in her hands and shit. Well, he's slowly dying where Bro just keeps on screaming for no fucking reason and shit and all that type of shit. Then Bro finally dies in her arms and shit, and the movie ends with her crying and shit like that. So yeah, how many people died in this very okay-ish movie? Let's find out. And let's get to the numbers. Oh, damn. Sorry about that loud ass scream, y'all. But by my count, 8 people died in this movie. The victims included 5, you know, lady victims. I don't know why I can't talk. And 3 males. So yeah, that gives us this pie chart and shit, with the ladies taking over most of it and shit like that. With a runtime of 92 minutes LFS, with a kill on average every 11.6 minutes. I'll get the golden chainsaw for coolest kill, to that van crash kill cause it was the most action in that kill. The machete for lamest kill can go to that slow ass throat slit and shit that these older movies like to do and stuff. But that's it though. This came out in 1980 and hey, this movie shows its age. If you like old ass 80 movie slashers, this movie might be for you. But if you don't, you like newer movies, I mean, hey, get ready for next week, because next week we'll be picking up right back where we left off with the Insidious franchise, and that movie will be Insidious Part 2, or Chapter 2, or whatever. But until then, I'm Terrell Hill. This has been the Kill Count. Thank you guys so much for watching today's Kill Count and stuff like that. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoy. I was really lazy this week. I mean, this video was almost about to come out like tomorrow type shit. I know today is Friday when this video is coming out right now. You're watching it right now. But Yeah, though. Thanks, everyone. Be good people. See you next week. All right.